Hello and welcome to Quarantine Athlete, where we discuss how to stay in the game and push through these extraordinary times together. My name is Martise Moore, former USC hurdler turned confidence and performance coach. And today I'm so excited to introduce this year's U.S. Olympic Trials Marathon champion, Aliphine Tuliamuk. Yay!
Yay!
Welcome. Aliphine was born in Kenya, where she graduated from Wichita State University, and she received her U.S. citizenship in 2016. So now she runs professionally for Hoka Naz Elite, and she has her own crocheting business where she sells her famous sold-out beanies.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to get one, but the website told me no, sold out. So we're waiting for her to catch up on her sold out orders, and then we can order some more again. So thank you so much for joining us, Aliphine. We're so excited to have you today.
Of course. No, thanks for having me. This is such a great opportunity.
Wonderful. So before the pandemic lockdown, you had just won the 2020 U.S. Olympic Trials Marathon, which is huge. That was at the end of February. With a time of 2:27. What was that like? What was that like winning the actual Olympic trials?
Yeah, I mean, it was amazing. It's the biggest win I've had so far in my career, and it came at the perfect time. You know, you prepare, you go to different races to get ready for this one race, and some go well, some don't, and then along the way you wonder if it actually is gonna happen, if you are cut out for the game or not. But for it to have come together on that day, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I'd say so. So, like, how is your life different now? Like, now that you've won?
Ooh, not a whole lot different. I still stay mostly in my pajamas because I don't go out a lot. I mean, granted, we are under quarantine, but honestly, like, the only thing that's changed is the fact that I reopened my Etsy shop and everything sells out. I've had a lot of interviews because of that results, and so a lot of media exposure. I've had a lot of followers on social media, so I guess that still goes along with us media exposure. But other than that, nothing has changed. I'm still the same person. I am still not feeling like doing my runs early in the morning every day, except today I did get up. I ran before 7 this morning. I ran at 6:50. I was very happy with that. But yeah, like, nothing has changed really, and then of course I guess as far as practice is concerned, we are not training intensely and we are not meeting as a group, so that's definitely different from what we've done in the past.
Yeah, so you're training on your own?
Yeah, we're training on our own. All of us are on our own.
And like, your coach gave you some kind of training schedule. What's that like to train for you don't know when your next meet is going to be or your next race?
Well, it depends. I guess it depends on different people. For me, some days I'm like, I feel tired today. And I ran a lot yesterday. I think I can afford to take a day off. And I can usually do that. The problem with that, though, is, the catch is I just have to make sure that the next day I run, because it would be easy to say the next day I'm not going to run. And so it's very strange. Running is my job, and I do it. I train very hard knowing that I have a race, coming up in 2 months or 3 months. Right now, it's like you're just training and you don't know when your next race is going to be. And I'm like, I don't have any desire of wanting to be fit. I just want to stay out of shape and struggle through most of my runs. I'm not going to try to push myself hard, because why would I want to do that? Like, this is the time to, run aerobic, a lot of aerobic runs, and just stay away from injuries.
Are you finding that maybe this is also a time to maybe appreciate running more, since it's something that's kind of, well, you're appreciating that you're not running as hard, but you're out there just running more for, staying in shape and enjoying it?
I love running hard.
Oh, you do?
I enjoy running hard as long as I have something in the horizon. But I think I'm appreciating running in the sense that I need running. I feel like it's not just because it's my job. I need running to have my sanity. I need running, like when I get grumpy, I can go out for a run, or if something is like stressing me out, I will always go out for a run, and then I'll come back and I'll feel so much better. If I have, like any problems going on with my family, running is always an escape. And so I appreciate running in that sense. And so even now when we don't have any race in the horizon, like if I was upset about something, I'll just go out for a run, and usually that helps me a lot. And so I appreciate running in that sense, but I really do enjoy training for a race. I enjoy training hard. I enjoy going after goals, and it's kind of hard right now not to have any goals to go after. And I am like, our team is planning to have some stuff this summer, like say, for example, going after some Strava segment records, or like having races among ourselves. But to me, that doesn't really excite me as much. Like I don't even know if I will like, I think in things like that, I'll just, go with a group. Like I don't think I'll have a desire to actually want to win. But also I've never done that. So it's like, maybe if once we meet with our group and we're training together, maybe that competitive spirit in me will come back. So
probably.
We'll see. Yeah.
I imagine that you're a pretty strong competitor. Oh my goodness, to win a marathon in general is a huge deal. Like what was that feeling, when you cross the finish line? Like,
I think
you won.
Yeah, I think you have an idea of how you're gonna feel, like how excited you're going to be when you win a race, and then you win a race and you're in the moment and it's not the same. It's almost like when you're training and you're giving yourself mantras and you're like, okay, this is how I'm gonna think. If I got to the end of my race and I'm feeling this way, I'm gonna do this. And then you go to the actual race and all of that goes off the window. I think that's the same way I would compare with winning that race. It's like all the plans that I had, of course you could never plan too much because you don't know if you're actually going to win or not, went off the window. And I feel like I was excited, I was happy, but I was also numb, like it was like, did this really just happen, or am I dreaming? And so yeah.
Can you share with us what one of your mantras was during that race?
I don't actually have a mantra. Mantras stress me out. So I've never had a mantra during a race. The only thing that I usually will do is I'll just try to pay attention to my surrounding, like say there's a new uniform in the market. I will like, for my teammates or the people that are my competitors, I'll check out their uniform and just, like critique them in my head while, like during the race, I'll be like, wow, that's kind of different. Interesting. That's what's going on, and that's probably mostly in the beginning and middle of the race. But towards the end of the race, all I just want to do is get to that finish line. Like I don't have a mantra.
Oh, that's so interesting. That's so different.
Yeah, it just like gives me anxiety.
Okay. Yeah. So when you found out that the Olympics was postponed to next year, like what was kind of your immediate reaction?
Very disappointed. I mean, Olympics only happens every 4 years, and I just turned 31 not too long ago, and so I think of myself as somebody, who still has another shot for 2024, and I would love to represent my country, in like world championships and maybe even world cross countries. And it's like you planned your life, your entire life, the last 4 years revolving, this Olympic cycle, and then it's going to be delayed by a year. I mean, it doesn't seem that long, but it feels like eternity. And as a female athlete, there's a lot of things that you plan with that too. And it just felt hard, it was really hard to process that. But once the initial disappointment was gone, I acknowledged that we needed to do that. And I mean, looking back right now with what's happening, my gosh, the virus is just wreaking havoc in every, everyone's life. And it's like, it was the right decision to make, it was just that in that moment when it came out, I was very disappointed. I wished, that I had made a different Olympics so that I could just go to the Olympics and not have to worry about having to wait, because a lot of things could change in 1 year. But, I think that I've already accepted, that it is what it is now.
Yeah. And this is going to be your first Olympics?
Yes.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah.
So are there any positives that have come out of this for you? Like with this unexpected off
Yeah.
season?
Yeah. I mean, I think that, you know, there are positives if in fact we do have another, like, a season to like run. I
Mm-hmm.
think after the initial disappointment, I was like, okay, well, this gives me a chance to maybe getting another marathon in the fall, because the
Uh-huh.
trials was my sixth marathon, and so I'm basically still learning how to run marathons. Like,
Wow.
my first three marathons went great, and then I feel like the last three I've
Mm-hmm.
been getting better, and so I'm still mastering.
Mm-hmm.
And so I was like, okay, I can get in another marathon in the fall and then another marathon in the spring. I will be so much better, come
Yeah.
next summer. But then now with the way things are looking, though, I just
Yeah.
don't know. Like, I feel like those positives are almost like fading away, because it's
Mm-hmm.
like, we hear of the maybe the resurgence of the virus in the fall,
Yeah.
and like most fall races and even winter races are at jeopardy right now. So it's like, yeah, any positive that I had, it's kind of that dream is kind of, like moving away farther and farther, which makes things even that much harder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what is like the advice you would give other runners out there? Because I mean, obviously a lot of, not on the same level as you, but a lot of runners are having some of the same issues where, they had races planned, whether it was New York or Chicago or something like that. And they're having a hard time being motivated to train for it. Like, what's some advice you would give to them right now?
I think you just have to recognize that this is something that is beyond your control.
Mm-hmm.
You are not the one who is. It's not like you're injured. It's not like you did something wrong,
Yeah.
and therefore you can blame yourself. You don't have to
Yeah.
blame yourself for this. It's like the whole world is going through this, and
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a comfort in that, at least for me,
Yeah.
anyway. And I think the next thing is like be flexible. Like be flexible with what you do. If you don't feel motivated to go out for a run, it's
Uh-huh.
okay. It's okay to take a day off.
Yeah.
I take days off. I'm like, this is the time for me to take days off if I need to.
Right.
I'm just not going to take a lot of days off to the point where like I'm actually not training.
Sure.
But and also I think you have to remember why you run. We don't always run just for the love of, like, for a pro athlete, you don't just run so you can go make money, or you don't
Right.
always run so you can go race in a race. I think there's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of reasons why we run, and you
Yeah.
need to remember the important ones. Like, of course, racing is one of those that gets you excited, but the
Mm-hmm.
reason you will run is beyond that. Think about how, like the positive impacts of running. Like having a
Yeah.
better, health, being able
Mm-hmm.
to eat some good food. Yesterday I ate 3 donuts. I'm not even guilty. And then
Nice.
today I went and ran them off today. At least that's what
Yeah.
I'm convincing myself. I'm like, hey, like if I didn't have running, I'd be like, oh my God, eating 3 donuts, that's a
Yeah.
lot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, like I think there's just a lot of things. There are other reasons that we
Mm-hmm.
all run, and you just need to remember those whys. You remember why you get available money to go run. It's not just, you can't tell me that it's just because you want to go run New York City Marathon.
Yeah.
There's other reasons why you run, and
Mm-hmm.
now is the time to apply that.
Yeah. That's beautiful. That's exactly, I think, what people needed to be reminded of. And the fact that that's one of the sports that we can still do in this pandemic.
Exactly. Yeah, right. Like, I mean, we are so lucky. I mean, I think
Mm-hmm.
everybody is actually running, because you think about every sport, swimming or like soccer or whatever, like
Mm-hmm.
they don't have the chances to go play. They don't have the
Yeah.
chances to train. For a runner, you can still go out and run. All you ever need is a pair of shoes
Yeah.
and a road or even a treadmill. Like I mean, I think I'm appreciating running more in that sense. I'm like, I am so lucky that I am in a
Mm-hmm.
sport where it takes a lot for you to not be able to do it.
Yeah.
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 So we are definitely very lucky.
Wonderful. Well, we want to continue to follow your journey to the Olympics, even though it's a year away, but we know that you're eating donuts and still training. So we want to follow that. Where can we follow you? Are you on Instagram?
So you can follow me on Instagram. I think it's just Aliphine Tuliamuk. On Twitter, it's at Aliphine Tuliamuk without a K for my last name.
Okay.
And then I'm also on Facebook, and I'm on LinkedIn. I don't post there much, so
Mm-hmm.
but usually I'm very active on Instagram and Twitter.
Okay.
And
Wonderful.
also, yeah, and for my hats, I have a link on my Twitter account.
Okay.
So if you follow me on Twitter, or if you go to my Twitter account, you'll be able to find a link to my store, which, by the way, doesn't have any inventory right now, but I'm hoping to have enough soon so that I can reopen it. It's just that when I reopen it, it becomes a shock because there's so many orders that come in, and it becomes super overwhelming. So I'm trying to pace myself, with like giving myself enough time, not having my crocheting be another stress.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we're going to order some more anyway.
Yeah.
So that's wonderful. We'll put the link up with the video so everybody has it. Okay, well, that concludes today's episode of Quarantine Athlete. We're so grateful that Aliphine was able to join us today and share a little bit about her championship world and what she's doing right now to continue to train and motivate the rest of us, inspire us to keep running. So be sure to follow us on Instagram and Twitter at GreenRunner LA and on YouTube, and share with us your quarantine athlete experiences. We really want to know what's going on with you and the miles that you're putting in, and what's your why. Tell us about why you still run, and that, I think that will help motivate all of us and inspire all of us to realize that we're all in this together. And so please be safe and stay well. And I guess we'll see you on Strava.